Guys, today we look at the walking sand dunes, but different ones to explain it better. We also look at the scouring effect of spring tide going out on low tide. Wow, what a beautiful sight. So please like the video, it helps a lot. For those guys that just watch that can't make donations, please just like the video. That will help the YouTube algorithm a lot. Good morning, good morning, good morning. From the word go, we're back on the cell phone. There's just too much moisture in the air to use the big camera. Sorry guys, quality is not what it should be, but it is what it is. Kom Pardette, stop, stop. Yeah, it's so beautiful here this morning. I will have to invest in another gimbal, but it will be something that's a little bit water resistant. Previous one didn't last. Yes, we've got tidal retention in the tidal channel here at the boardwalk. Just look at that. High water has pushed in and is still pushing in. It's not running out yet. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now we must just get a management plan to keep all this alive. It can't just only function in the 2 days on spring tide. It must be functional a little bit more than that. Pardette is exfoliating in the grass. She loves me so much since I bring her along in the mornings. She's back to being the beautiful, beautiful, supportive bitch that she used to be. One thing about the walking sand dunes of St Lucia is they don't walk that much on a rainy day. They're quite lazy. But then we've got the topsoil from the mountains to deal with. That comes down with the rivers, especially the Mfolozi River, but all rivers bring down topsoil. St Lucia River, not so much. It's got the dam, which acts as a sediment trap. Bentonite. I'm running out of time. I can't stop. I'll try and remember to come back this way. But usually I fall down a rabbit hole. Pardette and myself got very spoiled. Pardette got a whole tub full of chicken gizzards. She can't eat that much at a time. Intake of a dog's protein is only 13% of its diet, but anyway, we appreciate it very much. She had some of it this morning. I don't know when and what will happen with the rest. And thanks for the John Dory's gift voucher. That is much appreciated. Might just take the wife on a date night. Yesterday and today there will be a combination of cell phone and the Canon HS70 videos. It's because of the moisture in the air. It cleared up a little bit now, but when we hit the boardwalk it was still drizzling. Yesterday when we hit the peninsula it started drizzling. So guys, enjoy the videos, give it a like please, it's important. It helps a lot if you give the videos a like. I know everybody cannot pay to support the channel, but you can at least watch one advert and give the video a like. Thank you very much. Ja, Pardette, ja, sê dankie vir jou. Ja, daar sê dankie vir jou hoendermaagies. Ja, kom ons gaan bietjie swem. Kom ons gaan bietjie swem. Mense sê jy's 'n ou vrou. Waa, liggatte man. Jy's nie 'n ou vrou nie. Yep, the estuary mouth is still open. The rainy season hasn't started yet. It's supposed to. Channel is nice and deep today. So the tidal channel at that little boardwalk is doing its little bit, but there's so much more we can do to push back on the ocean-borne sediment. So much more. Something washed into the basin over there. Don't know from where it came, but it got stuck there. The hippos moved out. Don't see the crocodiles hanging around. And the sediment encroachment onto the mud. Right here in the corner, it's getting worse and worse. Over there we can see how difficult it is for the ocean to scour, or the water to scour away the mud. It just doesn't happen. And this whole peninsula is on this mud bank that was put down layer by layer by the Global Environmental Fund under the management of Andrew Zulumis, Nicolette Forbes and Dr. Barry Clark. So whoever gets the the tender to amend the current management plan, so we're far from saving this estuary. The tender process is only going on now. I hope whoever gets the tender takes the ocean-borne sediment, the river-borne sediment and the wind-borne sediment into consideration. And I hope the public gives them the leeway to do a hard surface planning here. Whether it's a wood barrier, whether it's a tree barrier, whether it's a cement barrier. But the wind-borne sediment has to be managed so that it doesn't collaborate with the ocean-borne sediment and build us another sand dune like that. Because we had a sand dune like that, but the current management plan that was devised under Andrew Zulumis took it away and deposited it right here layer by layer with 105 mining dump trucks. Let's not forget, this is a man-made wall to separate the estuary from the ocean. Now this man-made wall keeps on moving to the west and the south, encroaching into the estuary basin, which no longer exists. Guys, I hope you keep this in mind when you redo the management plan. This area here will do well if you take out all the mud. I don't see that happening. I don't see where you're going to get equipment to move this mud. And where to? The only place is back there, where it originally comes from. Well, the sand comes from. This mud, this new mud is riverborne sediment. But yeah, by building a sand dune over there, we can manage the wind flow patterns. Of course, it has an effect all the way north if you've got a sand dune over there. And don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. There's the proof. There's the proof. So Pardette, wat sê jy daarvan? Kom ons gaan huis toe. Kom. Kom ons gaan soek iets anders te mooi om af te neem. This death and destruction, coming here and seeing the system dying on a daily basis, it really gets to my energy, my key, my whatever you want to call it. It hurts my soul to see the estuary die on a daily basis, and it truly does. Because on a windy day, this sand gets blown over to that side, and this sand dune walks that way. Yeah, and I've got a very, very bad matric, and I could figure this out. And I've stood here, spoken to many scientists, not one, not two, not three, many scientists, and they can't figure out the danger of this sand. See how this dunes walk as the wind blow the sand from left to right over the crest, and then the sand forms on the western side of the dune. They actually walk faster south, from north to south. Yes, if the south wind blows, it blows the sand dune back north, but for some reason, if you look at the sand dune formation, it's evident that they walk further south than they walk back north. Anyway, these sand dunes are definitely moving rapidly into the estuary basin. Gully go. A gully go. Papa's a gully go. Los my net uit. Ek wil nie die hele tyd net op die kamera wees nie. O Here, ons het so 'n vloeimutie gekry toe ons laaste keer in Richards Bay was. Sorry. Flee away. Fantastiese goed. Tyd om 'n volgende behandeling te kry. Battery owning, battery owning, battery owning. What a beautiful view. Guys, I want to use this opportunity to thank PJ van der Walt from River Lodge Backpackers. They're in Pinelands. Oudermolen Eco Village. Go and look at that village. It's very, very interesting. And what can be done to make a tourist attraction. PJ has supported the channel over the last 24 months quite substantially. And he's really pulling his weight now. Just go and like the Facebook page, River Lodge Backpackers. Just like the Facebook page, please. Thank you, guys. Wat Pardette? Wil jy die kant toe gaan of wil jy huis toe gaan? Huh? Wat, wil jy saam met hom Frank gaan loop? Gaan. Om Frank gaan nie terugkom. Ja, gaan, ek kom. Gaan, ek kom. Gaan. See how difficult it is for the ocean to move this mud. The fluid dynamics of hydrology. Zulus call that foam umlungu. I just want to tell Julius Malema about this foam. This foam is the life-giving force of the planet. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, sir. Check all the life that is trapped here in that little pool. So there's some marine water retention right there. Just imagine. If there was a lot of these channels dug into the estuary basin, into the mud. Just imagine if this mud wasn't there. Hey? What beautiful healthy system that this. This is the bottom of the food chain being spawned. Everything else that feeds on the planet, all the building blocks of life starts right over there. Without that, you don't have a food chain. Zero food chain, nothing. You can't even breed protein in a laboratory without that. Right over here, we can see the ocean-borne sediment settling. Current and wind. Look how it's filling up the mud bank on this side. Very interesting place to spot ghost crabs. Are they ghost crabs? Look at the ocean-borne sediment being packed here. I think it was 5 or 6 weeks ago. Wiseman was turning a boat around here and I was very concerned that this tractor is going to fall off the ledge right here where I stand. And that is about 10 meters of ocean-borne sediment deposited right there. I'll walk up into that corner and I will video it this way so you can see the amount of ocean-borne sediment that has been deposited. Wow. First time I've seen seaweed gathered like this, mixed with phytoplankton. You've got a rock formation starting, carbonated sandstone rock. All the ingredients is right here to start a rock layer. A North Pier, hey? Here we can see the sediment built up on the corner. Ocean-borne sediment and wind-borne sediment meets, you get this. Let me flip 180 degrees. People say 25,000 years in the making. But 6,000 years ago this was a glacier. I don't know anymore. And this is how the estuary mouth now looks at spring low tide. If we can have more energy over a more sustained period of time, we might save the estuary mouth. But right now, the sediment build-up just gets worse and worse and worse. This is a view that the skippers of the ski boats never get, and they can't form a mental picture in their mind on where the sandbanks are, and then they get stuck on the sandbanks. Now guys, have a look. That is the channel where you launch on high tide, and this is the sandbank that you fight with when you try and get through the surf. We've got a perfect example on how the sand dune is walking to the south. And the reason why it doesn't turn and walk back north is normally with the south wind is rain. And these buggers are lazy to walk when they're wet. They tend to stand still, lay in bed like you guys that don't want to come here. When you write your reports, scientific reports, you don't want to come here and write your reports. You stay in bed and you do it. There's another perfect example. This is the direction that the sand is moving into the estuary basin. I hope I've got the scientists' attention now, because we're done being treated like fools and like subhumans just because you've got the degree behind your name. If you don't come here and come and see what happens, then don't take the contract. Don't apply for the tender. You're just buggering up our children's heritage. That's all you do. It's flower time here at the marsh hibiscus bushes. Oh, beautiful flowers. We've got tidal flow here on spring tide low and high. As I said, it's silted up a lot. It would have been nice if the tidal energy was higher so it didn't silt up this much. But it is what it is. People don't want the system to be managed. So I'll make money showing you guys how it's dying. The hydrologist that I'll keep you responsible for all the mangrove swamps that you've killed. You remember? ...2012, when I tried to intervene in your destructive management plan. Remember me? When you were sending me around between this person and that person and not giving me straight answers. Remember me? I'm still here. In Pardette doen eers niks nie. Right here we've got tidal interaction. Wow. Spring tide has reached the top regions of the estuary. Wow. Sunset yet is not quite the top regions, ne? And over there we can see we've got current. Interesting.